Well, hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Our Front Yard Garden here in the South Carolina upstate. It is November 22nd of 2024. This is our 42nd episode of the year, and as you can take a quick survey of our yard, there are a lot of flowers left. We still haven't had a frost. We came darn close to it. Even just last night, we got down to 34 degrees, but we still haven't had one. But the flowers respond to other things besides frost. The shorter days, the colder weather. Today it's a high of only about 50, maybe 52. Despite that, it is an absolutely beautiful day. Crystal clear skies, bright sun, and a fair breeze. It's making it a little bit cooler, or seeming cooler than it actually is. But we've done a little bit of cleaning up since last week. Got all of our dead zinnias out of this area here. It was looking pretty ratty, and we wanted to kind of freshen things up a little bit. It's that time of year where there isn't a lot going on flower-wise, but I thought I'd show off what we do have. And we'll start off actually almost as if it was spring. It kind of feels like a February day or a March day here, and we've got some clematis, these Giacomini purple clematis. These have been coming and going for about the last 6 or 8 weeks. There's still a fair number of buds on them, and so we should have color and some flowers probably for another, I don't know, a couple weeks. Once we get an actual frost, which right now looks like it'll be maybe around December 1st, much later than last year, about 6 weeks later than 2023, amazingly enough. It's been great weather-wise, and it's nice to still have flowers out just 1 week before Thanksgiving. Now down here, this is about the only other thing going on right now in this bed, the vinca. The plants themselves, they're not exactly thriving. Some of the branches are kind of spindly, but we do have still some flowers, not a lot of new ones, not a lot of buds. So what we've got right now is probably going to be the end of the line for the year. Then coming on up here, we have more vinca. Kind of the same thing here, not a ton of flowers, some enough to be worth looking at. Mostly white ones here, a few pink ones. And then the petite knockout rose here, still giving us some nice red roses. Not a ton. This has not been a great year. It didn't do especially well with the hot summer that we had, but still doing well. The leaves look healthy, and the flowers are out probably again till the first frost coming up soon. Over here, more of the same vinca. We do have some dianthus. Strangely enough, these things just keep coming out. It's primarily a spring flower. We start to get the first ones in April, and then they have kind of their high point around that time, and then they slowly wither over the next few months. But we continue to get them, obviously, even now. The other one that's kind of a surprise is this climbing rose. It's got 5 really pretty red roses on it right now, even in mid-November. And again, the plant itself doesn't look terribly healthy. It lost most of its leaves, if not all of its leaves, due to black spot back during the summer. But a lot of them have come back, and it has continued to put out flowers. Unlike these climbers over here, we have one red, one yellow, not doing as well. We also have some clematis in there that are long since finished up for the year. Otherwise, we have some dahlias that are done. Zinnias I took out through here. A few vinca left, a few dianthus left. But just about everything else over through this part of the yard is done for the year. Hydrangeas here, just kind of waiting for next year. My little citrus grove here is just kind of hanging on for next year. Not really doing anything, no new flowers. I took 2 of the smaller plants that had some growing lemons and flowers and buds on them, and I put them on the back porch. So those will show up on our backyard garden tour, which is our next video after this one. They're doing pretty well. A few snapdragons here, obviously a spring flower, but they're giving us their second wind. Just this patch, I put these in about 2 or 3 years ago, all through here, and this is the one little group of plants that have come back and done pretty well. We'll see what happens next year. Over here, this is primarily a spring bed, but we are getting our second wind. If you've been watching these videos the last few weeks, these azaleas here have just been amazing. They are blooming almost to the same extent that they do in the spring, with these gorgeous two-tone pink flowers, and the plants themselves have both the dark pink and the light pink flowers. They're absolutely gorgeous. I'm very, very happy with those. We have several of them through here. We also have some with smaller flowers, and a different breed that has smaller flowers yet. These peaked a couple of weeks ago, but they still have a few flowers on them that look good. I'm going to come around to the front part of this bed to show off this azalea. This is probably the best one. It's the biggest one, and it looks great. And it should bloom again next March or April if all goes well. And then in between those, we have plants kind of in the background. Those are viburnum. Those will give us big white, I call them snowball flowers, and they will bloom in probably April, maybe May, and so that's something to look forward to. Unfortunately, they only bloom once a year. And then these are this pile here, waiting for the trash to pick up. These are the zinnias from the front yard that I've taken away. Now, as I don't know if you can see this in the distance, our neighbors have a bunch of red knockout roses. You can see them in bloom over there, and then there's another neighbor down the street that has similar knockouts that are just covered with roses. For whatever reason, ours are not. We have about 3 roses on ours. Now, these have done very well in the spring. This is obviously not their primary time of year, but they've lost a lot of leaves from black spot. I'll be curious to see what they do next year. I don't know if they've kind of reached a point where they need to be replaced, or if they'll come back. So that'll be kind of the big question mark for next spring. And then we'll come up to this last bed here. Again, it's more of the same. Vinca's still hanging in there. Our dahlias are done. Just about everything else is finished. There's some zinnias that are now finished up. I probably could have pulled these out last week. I didn't, but they're about finished. And then knockout roses over here. Pretty much done. A couple of coral colored roses that are still in bloom. Not much to see. And then back here we have exactly 1 dianthus flower that's still blooming, and that really is about it. So that's about it for our front yard. The backyard, there's a little more to see, so tune in for that video. One other thing that I'll mention just real quickly, we had our lawn. I don't talk about the grass very often, but we had our lawn aerated and reseeded or overseeded about 6 or 7 weeks ago, and I'm seeing a lot of new grass coming up, probably more in the backyard than here, and so hopefully we'll have a little higher quality lawn next year. We've kind of struggled. There are 2 or 3 different types of grass in this lawn, and I'm not an expert on grass, but we've kind of struggled to make this look the way we want it to. But I think one thing that's a testament to how nice the weather's been is the fact that the grass is still pretty green. So it hasn't gone completely dormant yet. So we'll see how that does next year. All right, well, we're going to head to the backyard, do our second video in just a moment. And so, as I always say, hope it's sunny wherever you are. Oh, quickly, I'll just show off our tomato. Not really doing a lot. Still has some tomato fruit on it. This just sort of popped up. We don't exactly know why. The tomatoes themselves aren't all that palatable, but it's kind of fun to watch them. And they still have some flowers on them, so they'll be finished as soon as we get the first frost. But for the time being, they're doing okay. Also, let's see, a little ice plant over here, it's still hanging in there. That's about it. So, off to the backyard. Until next time, happy gardening.